Thokozane andibingelela nonke Esilwaneni kuseyimthukela. Before we begin, I would like to apologize. I would like to apologize for the past 2 cancelled lives. We had to cancel 2 lives. So I'll try and recover all of the work. Otherwise, everything is still on par. As I had excused myself, bekhona umsebenzi wokuthwasa Esilwaneni, so it was a very busy week. But sibuyile namhla ke silana. So I would like to apologize for that one. Thokozane. I will wait for at least an entry level of people. When people start coming into the live, then I'll start talking. On our last session, we spoke about Uktwasa. I dived into the do's and don'ts of Uktwasa. But there's something that is aligned with Uktwasa today that I had a consultation about, or a consultation of, that I feel people need to know. It all goes to ukuvakashelwa. It is aligned with ukuvakashelwa. We had said this on maybe the second or the first video on the topic Yoktwasa, where we had cleared out uluhlu lokuvakasha. Especially ukuvakashelwa komuntu othwasayo. Uma uthwasa kukhona izinto elidlondlobalayo elizireflectayo kuwe, like in the basis of you actually live those situations. Typical example of this is mawumuntu othwasayo, or you don't know that uyathwasa, and umshuluko seke qabuke to the point whereby idloti lona liyazibonakalisa, mhlali lizibonakalisa kabuhlungu, where you'll start not liking, or you'd start to not do things that you were usually familiar with, like wearing shoes. You'd feel a sensation when you have shoes on where it feels like your feet are burning, or something is poking underneath them, or the shoe is tight. People start even buying like bigger sizes than their actual size just to get around what they're feeling because they don't understand it at that time. Abanye would start not wearing certain materials. Ngoba, some of the fabrics that are used are taken from certain animals. And some ancestral bloodlines or tribal bloodlines are related or are projected through certain animals. Ento ikhamba ngezibongo. Yes. So due to fashion now, people are not mindful of that. They tend to not pay attention to that. A person would be ujola, and because they can afford an expensive belt, umuntu engazazi ukuthi unedlozi kumele athwase, they would just buy that belt because it's expensive and they can afford it, or they like it because they're fashionable, and then not pay attention to who they are. So it's one of the issues that a client of mine in a session this afternoon we had to be talking about, where I was basically explaining the process, because there were things that were related to the problem that needed addressing. So I think that too is aligned with Uktwasa, and I should touch on that, because people now have to pay attention to certain things. Some people will always be pushed off bed sometimes, or you not find sleep because you're sleeping ebedini indima kulelela phezulu. Nayo has its own problems. So these are things I think, I think I should be addressing or explaining, so that other people who watch my videos who are encountering the same thing actually have a clear understanding of what's happening. Yes. I'll just wait for a few people to get on live. I'll just wait for people to be like, to get in the live. As tired as I am, I thought I was going to let this live pass, but I couldn't. Because now, I think the only time I won't be live is if there's something important that's happening, or the only time I won't be live is if I'm busy, or is if I have a problem maybe with my equipment or something. That's the only time I won't go live. It will only be due to work. So I can't not go live because I'm saying I'm tired. I am tired. It's been a very, very long day, long week for me. The past week I've been working throughout the week, and yesterday night was my only rest night. I was even sleeping this afternoon, but I had set an alarm so that I wake up at a particular time and be live, so that I can catch up with the past work, if I may. Tozan. Oh, and people, there's something I need to explain when it comes to consultation, especially those who want me to consult with them over the phone. I had said that I don't have a problem with doing it. I don't usually do it, If I do it, it will be a matter of urgency. It will, because it's an urgent matter that is well, the point where we are face to face will be due to distance. So that is the only time I think it will be fair for me nangendlela endisebenza ngayo to consult with anyone over the phone. So if it's not that important and you can come to where I live or where I work, please do so. Yes, Thokozani. Ngiyabingelela kubantu abangenile ku-live, Thokozani. There's nothing much that I've said outside excusing myself for the past 3, if not 2, postponements of being live due to work, but I did announce to people that I will be very, very busy, so please forgive me for that. And I've been tapping on Oktwasa and something I encountered today with a client that I see that people misunderstand, Thokoza, that I see people misunderstand. It is indima yokuvakashelwa. There will come a time mawumuntu othwasayo idloti lakho elizokuhlubula kwizinto ezingalungelani ne-journey le okuyona. Some people mhla idloti libangene futhi bengasabeli, not because they don't want to, but because they don't know what is actually happening. Some people will have phobias of moving objects like cars, trains. So some people fear climbing in a car, traveling by bus, or they'll get certain paranoia of flying. All of those things only are okay with them when they're doing it. A person will have an absolute breakout panic when someone else is driving the car, and they can only trust themselves with the process of driving the car. They'll see things that aren't there. There has been an incident where a lady in a taxi full of people saw something. She was sitting right next to the taxi driver. She went straight to the steering wheel. What she saw led her to turning the steering wheel the other direction. They almost had an accident because she saw something that wasn't there. And she thought the taxi driver was going to hit whatever she saw. And everyone else saw her as a person who was crazy. So in Dimini Yokuvakashelwa, certain things happen. There are actual events where those things have happened. Or maumuntu sathwasile or atwasa, and the family acknowledges this ukuthi bathwasa. But some families, due to parents and all these religious understandings, will say Tina asiyenzi leyonto apha emathileni. We'll just go to Pastor Banbani, he'll pray for you. Then certain things will happen to a person where lapho angazokwazi ukuhamba kahle, abantu bangazogcoka isihlangu, all of a sudden they're in pain every time they have shoes on, where a person is in pain every time, or their body feels a certain way. Maybe you feel you're wearing a certain jacket and your body is itching, or you feel like you're wearing a backpack on, or it just feels like you ukhwelwe abantu, ukhathalekile, because now you're wearing this leather jacket made out of a particular animal that you did not pay attention to, as to the importance of the animal in your ancestral bloodline, because all of these animal trades now, where abantu banxiba imithika, umthika is made out of animal skin. You wear umthika because udingiwe kuwe, not because ubaba kababa wakho unxiba nobaba kababa wakho unxiba, because there is an importance kwizilo ezikhona kulo mthika. Abantu ababathwasa kudala, they understood that. It's sad that now people just put it under the rug and then they pretend as if it's not there, and they ignore the importance of isilo ngasinye. Zikhona ibongo, zikhona families ezithile. There are certain clans that acknowledge the existence of a certain animal in their bloodline. So it's been lost in translation through time. It's been lost. Now people are just doing it because iyenziwa nje, thokozama, iyenziwa nje. They don't look at the importance of it, because now certain animals that were respected back then are part of fashion shows now. People wear them, you see. So awugqibi ukuthi this thing should not be done, or it should be done. They should be acknowledged. The person buying this certain animal clothing should not be buying it. But then it goes to the time in which people are living now. So people don't pay that much attention to it, and they suffer for it, especially Maumuntu Atuhasa. Give me a second. Hey, Maketla ngiyathokoza. As I had said, I am very busy, so I guess today's live is going to be very, very short. I will make up for that, and I'll do basically a revision of our last work, and then I'll commence from that. So this was merely an announcement and an apology and a recap for the past week, because we haven't seen each other for a week almost. So ngizobuya Wednesday, where we'll be continuing the talk of uThwasa and all the things that surround uThwasa. Kuloko Maketla ngiyabonga. I'm sorry for cutting the live short. People just walked in, so I have to go back to work. Thokozani.